morning once again, fellow ghouls and goblins and humans, whoever else is watching. Welcome once again to the library here at Horror Hotel, where it's time to take a look at another noteworthy, cool Halloween mask here on Creepy Cheapies with Dr. Lady. I'm three of the little rascals in a very long coat, and today's horrible monstrosity comes from one of my favorite films of all time. The original 1978 Dawn of the Dead. That's right. It's this guy. He's called Flyboy. Technically he's Flyboy Zombie. Now that could either be one word, as in F-L-Y-B-O-Y, or that could be two words, Flyboy. Flyboy. So if you're looking this up, it could be spelled either way, Flyboy or Flyboy. And of course, why is he called Flyboy? That's right, he's the son of the Fly from that movie The Fly. See, his son grew up to be a blue zombie, and no, that's not correct. He's Ant-Man's sidekick. Ant-Man and Flyboy. Remember the comics? No, that's a lie as well. He's actually a zombie who, when he was a human, he knew how to pilot a helicopter. So that was sort of a nickname. He was just called, hey, Flyboy, because he was the guy who was a helicopter pilot. Not a lot of zombies find employment as helicopter pilots, but look at this monstrosity. He's from the year 2020, and I know what you're going to say. Oh, Dr. Lady, everybody looked just like that in the year 2020. That's nothing special. But let me point out to you, this is a beautifully sculpted recreation of the actor who played this zombie, who I believe may be the most horrifying moment in zombie cinema, and I've seen them all, folks. I've seen more zombie movies than you've had hot dinners, okay? And this, nothing is more horrifying. It's a moment of such terrible tragedy and loss and sadness and genuine horror, done in a very down-to-earth and unspectacular, unpretentious manner, and it still packs a wallop when this guy, previously a very sympathetic character that you liked and cared about, when this guy becomes a zombie, that moment is so creepy and so scary. It's one of the reasons the original 1978 Dawn of the Dead is one of my favorites to this day. Beautifully recreated for you here by a talented guy named Rich Crucell, who has done a lot of other monster sculptures over the years, including Blackula, I believe. Did he do Blackula? I think he did. And Big Daddy, which is a zombie from Land of the Dead, and he did a rare and sought-after version of Part 3 Jason that people, collectors, love. And anyway, Rich Crucell sculpted this version of Flyboy, and it really looks just like the actor. There have been a few versions of this character before. Jeff Wehinkle had a great one years and years ago. That was ages ago. I doubt the mold is still around, and only a few were made of that one. And there was a not very impressive one in more recent years by Rubies, but let's not talk about that one. This one from Trick or Treat Studios 2020 lineup is the one to have. Now, a curious bit of trivia about this guy is that, I don't know if you can tell previously, but the copy I'm holding right here is not in fact a wearable mask you put on your head. It is a foam-filled prop head. Okay, and the story there is, it was available from the Trick or Treat website. You could get either the mask, which is just like this, except with eye cuts above there and no foam in it, that sort of thing. You could get the wearable mask for around 60 bucks, or the foam-filled prop head for around 90, I believe. What's the difference? Well, $30. Yeah. Now, when I first became aware of this, I thought, oh, that's kind of exciting that they offer a foam-filled prop version. I wonder if they're going to do that of all the masks. And I asked someone at Trick or Treat, why this one, out of all the monsters in the world, why Flyboy? What's the story with him being the only one offered as either a mask or a foam prop head? And are you going to do foam-filled prop heads of the Universal masks? Because can you imagine the stampede to buy those if they had foam-filled versions of like the Boris Karloff Frankenstein and the Creature from the Black Lagoon and some of those folks? That would be really cool. But I was told no. I was told this was actually a Strother Martin style failure to communicate that caused this. Apparently Trick or Treat sent a finished foam-filled master to the production house explaining, here's how we want the paint and hair ideally to look. This is the model that all the production copies should aspire to, and that one was foam filled, and somebody at the factory thought, oh, okay, they want them foam filled, and the first batch of them came out foam filled. So it wasn't actually deliberate offering a foam filled version of just this character and none of the others. It just sort of happened that way. And now I know you're already complaining, some of you, about the glue line and the hair and some of that. Yeah, the glue line is not great, but for 60 bucks or 90 bucks if it's foam filled, the sculpture is so fantastically good and has exactly the right character and exactly the right expression and exactly the right skin texturing, and every little detail really looks like it's there. I thought it was an awesome piece. The hair is a little bit weird in that some of them at least seem to have sort of blonde streaks in there, which that's not really realistic. Like real life hair doesn't look like that, but I kind of see where they got that looking at stills of him. But anyway, you could have the hair redone. Some of you are thinking, oh, it needs more paint, shading and stuff. You could add that if you're so inclined, but for the price and for the nice sculpture and the overall quality, I give it a big thumbs up. Now, if you haven't noticed, one of the problems with the foam-filled version is it doesn't stand up, because it wasn't really designed to be a foam bust. It was designed to be a mask, so it's a bit longer in the front, so it doesn't. See, you can do that. Hours of fun, amuse yourself, and it just keeps falling over. So if you're going to get one of these, you're going to have to stick something under the back of it to just jack it up a little, and it'll be fine. Just prop up the back of it. I like to use a bag of Goldfish snack crackers. Yeah, cheddar made with organic wheat. See, non-GMO. See, and you just stick the bag of Goldfish snack crackers underneath the back of the head, and Viola, there you go. He stands right up. You see how nicely that? Okay, now what? Oh. I've been asked what should they do if they don't have a bag of Goldfish snack crackers? Well, you could stick a pack of Nutter Butter cookies under there, or perhaps Chips Ahoy chocolate chip cookies. I don't recommend Cheetos or Doritos or anything like that. No, maybe an Almond Joy candy bar. You know, use your imagination, whatever you think works. And of course, there's going to be a problem at some point if you decide you want to eat that pack of Goldfish snack crackers, because you're going to take it out and then, oh look, he fell off the back of the shelf again. So, well, I'll leave you to work that out as far as your best personal display option. But getting back to the subject of what if you want more elaborate, more deluxe hair and more complex paint work and more dramatic paint, here we have one that was given a bit of a makeover. I don't like to say rehaul, because for one thing that sounds like, I think, too much of my own contribution to it, which was minor. It sounds like, oh, rehaul, yeah, tore it up and started all over. Not exactly, but I did add some shading to the paint just to make the dark parts a little more prominent, to make the circles around the eyes and in his cheeks, because that's how he looked to me in the movie. He looks a little more shocking because he's a little bit more colorful, and you could say that that's because of the way it was photographed. That's possible, but the way it looks on film is a little more dramatically shaded, I think. And this one has had his hair completely redone by Laura, my long-suffering wife. And by the way, Laura still counts this movie as one of her favorite movies of all time too. So just so you know, this one was rehaired by Laura using a mix of, and I'm probably going to tell you the wrong thing, I think it's a mix of artificial hair and crepe hair and real human hair, all blended together, and you can kind of get it to, you know, flop however you want when you're flopping around. But it looks a little more realistic, because the color's a little nicer and you don't have the glue lines and stuff, because she's able to spend more time on the hair and the eyebrows. I don't know if you noticed, the eyebrows it comes with are just kind of glued on from left to right. They're like a strip of hair. Laura took the time to put more hair, individual little hairs into her eyebrows for this wearable mask version, and I think it's worth doing. I think the eyebrows look better this way, although again it's pretty great right out of the package, but just if you want it really more realistic for real close-up viewing, you might want to do that. And you may want to notice Laura has added a few white hairs to his eyebrows, not because he had white hair in his eyebrows, but because in the movie it looks like there's maybe a little bit of makeup smeared in his eyebrows, so there's just a touch of gray. It seems to suit him anyway. But what a beautifully sculpted and produced thing. And again, 60 bucks for the wearable one, and I believe it's about 90 for the foam-filled one, if you can still get one of the foam-filled ones. I'm sure when this is discontinued, the price will be a lot higher because people will be looking for the Flyboy zombie to add to their own collections and haunted attractions and stuff. And well, I think that's all I have to say about him. So you know, you do go, and we'll see you again next week. And you go and do whatever you need to do. And I'm kind of hungry. I think I'll have a snack. I think I'll have some goldfish crackers. Oh, I forgot. Oh.